The Dream Team. The Home Ownership Dream Team. Tracy Conyers. Gregory Clark. Chantel Newman. Bridget Gilder. Raymond and Stacy Lewis. The Home Ownership Dream Team.
Good morning, everyone. So we're back again. We have the Home Ownership Dream Team. We're just here again just to kind of educate you guys a little bit more on what we have going on. The home buying process it can be very complicated and it could seem like an upheaval at times. But we have Miss Tracy, who's going to continue to educate us on the 10 commandments of the home buying process.
Yes, so we were talking about changing jobs or quitting jobs or becoming self-employed. And we do need that 2-year history of employment. And so Ms. Newman had touched bases on the refinery industry, and so we'll let her just go ahead and pick back up on that and discuss that a little bit.
So as I was saying it on our last show, that we all live in Southeast Texas, and our industry is the refinery. Pretty much everyone works as a contractor in the refineries, and our length of job or length of service for our jobs is not always something that's always knowing how long we're going to be there. So it's okay if you're a welder and you work for ABC Construction Company and you're going through the home buying process and ABC decides to go ahead and lay you off, and you have to go to XYZ Construction Company as a welder still, that's okay. All you have to do is just communicate with myself as your lender, your realtor, just the whole team, right, and we can still make it happen. As long as you don't change professions, so you can't go from welding and then all of a sudden decide you want to go sell cars. But for the most part, I feel like as a team, that's what we do the best, overcome the obstacles for you. So it's still achievable for you to become a homeowner.
And I want to speak on what you were speaking on about the contractor, mm-hmm. and just because I had to go through it. Mm-hmm. We didn't know. We thought, right. I switched my job. Oh man, what's going on? I wasn't thinking about that, but mm-hmm. we still made it happen because I never changed my profession.
Right.
So yeah, I know, we do whatever we have to do to get things done.
Right.
We know what happens.
And I think the most important thing with us as being a team or dream team is that we have all walk the walk and not just talk the talk. Right. We've been through it.
Right. Yeah.
So we're not just reading to you stuff off paper, offline, off of social media or anything. It's coming because we have actually went through it. We've went through the trial and errors of the process. Mm-hmm. And we came together to try to make it easier and simplify it for the community.
Awesome.
Right, and it's just like, as soon as you have your credit pulled and you start the process, nobody pulls your credit, nobody, and anything that happens with you, you should let us know because it can't be a secret. You have to share that information with us. So just like with purchasing something, okay, your credit been pulled, now you go and buy a car. You went and bought some furniture. No, they're going to do that soft pull at the end, and we can be getting ready to go to closing, and it has happened. It hasn't happened in a long time because we reiterate, do not purchase anything. We've told people all the way up to the closing until it funds, don't do anything. And we've had people in the store the day before, the night before,
buying that refrigerator,
wanting to get that refrigerator or that furniture, and we're like, you have to wait until it actually funds before you do anything.
Mm-hmm.
Or a car, yeah, because we've been in closing and it has happened. The pulling of the soft pull, and we've had to stop the closing because of it. So we don't never want to get into those situations because one thing that I can say about the Dream Team, we don't have loan fallouts. Ms. Newman is great at underwriting up front. We're very knowledgeable. I have a background in mortgage. I was a loan officer for several years myself. So we work together and collaborate what we know that you need, because Ms. Newman, we don't never want to get to come to a buyer and say you can't get this home. That's like a no-no, you know.
Right.
So we do a lot of the underwriting up front just to make sure we get to the closing table.
And I think another thing that's important is because we are a team and we're looking out for your best interest. But more importantly, we're here after hours. I always say life doesn't happen just between 9 and 5. So you'll see Tracy and I on the phone or in each other's office at 8, 9, 10 o'clock at night to make it work, to make it work. And it's all about overcoming the obstacles, because like we said before, buying a house is no cookie cutter. It's not the same thing as when your parents bought a house. It's not the same thing as your best friend or your neighbor or whatever.
Right.
Everybody's situation is unique.
Unique. Okay, so you should not increase your credit cards or let your payments fall behind. So don't start just, we need that 30%, right?
Absolutely.
You need to keep those credit card balances down so you can keep it affordable. That helps your credit score go up.
And so I have a quick question for Raymond and Stacey. The 30% right on the credit cards. Now, is it better to charge that 30% and pay it off over a period of time? Or is it better to charge that 30%, just pay the full balance every month? What do you guys suggest? Because I know that's a question I asked often, and I don't have that particular knowledge.
Yeah.
Well, it just depends on what you're using the 30% for.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, if you know that you can pay that 30% off within that month,
Yeah.
then yes, then do that.
Okay.
But don't actually just charge that 30% and say, okay, I'm gonna pay it off within 6 months. Because your credit score is not gonna actually go up. It's gonna stay the
reports every
same.
month.
So it reports every 30 days. So if you're gonna charge that 30%,
Okay.
then make sure you can pay it off within a month.
Thank you very much. I didn't know that. I didn't know that. All right.
We'll be right back after these messages.
Get well naturally. Bill Yeary is a clinical naturopath, nutritionist, and herbalist and has been in practice for over 15 years. Get well naturally through nutrition, natural medicines, and biblical principles. Discover your health status with biofeedback testing. Getting Well Naturally in Lumberton, Texas specializes in helping people discover the underlying issues behind their health challenges. Call 409-227-4192 to schedule your appointment today. Get well naturally.
Love is patient.
Come on! Go! It's not gonna be green forever! Turn!
Love is kind.
Have you seen how fat she's gotten lately?
It does not envy.
I have to fix this piece of junk while Brent's parents buy him a new car.
It does not boast.
3 birdies in one day, Chad. Let's see you do that.
It is not proud.
I need you to write that report.
But that's not my job to do that.
It is not rude.
No, thanks. Really?
It is not self-seeking.
I gotta ask, what's in it for me?
It is not easily angered.
How could you spend that much money?
It keeps no record of wrongs.
They say he cheated on his wife. Once a cheater, always a cheater.
Love does not delight in evil, but rejoices with the truth.
Yeah, I've had such a bad day at work. I'm totally getting blitzed tonight.
It always protects.
He's always talking about Jesus. It gets so annoying.
Yeah, right.
Always trusts.
You lied to me. How can I ever trust you again?
Always hopes.
Don't you know that God loves you?
There's no way God would love me with all the things I've done.
Always perseveres.
But why get a divorce?
I just don't love him anymore.
Love never fails. Do you?
Welcome back, guys. Thank you for joining our show again. And Greg, that question that you asked earlier concerning the 30% on your credit card. Right. Okay, this is what we advise all of our clients to do. If you charge 30% on your credit card, just make sure that within a month's time you can pay that credit card balance off.
Okay.
Because your credit card reports every month. So therefore, if you use 30% of that card, pay it off. Even if you have to pay it off in 2 parts, 1 month, the next month. But if you're actually inquiring about trying to buy a home or whatever, just make sure that you pay that 30% off in 30 days and not 6 months.
Okay.
I have a quick question regarding credit. If you have a lot of open credit card accounts, do you need to close those accounts in order to increase your credit score?
No, ma'am. That's the worst thing that you can do is actually close that credit card. Because if you actually close that credit card, you lose all of your credit history. So credit history is actually a part of how they derive at your credit score. So this is my thing is if you want to increase your credit score, actually pay that card to 0, go back and charge maybe $40, $50 on that card, then go back and pay it off. Never close it because you lose all of your credit history. We actually have clients that feel like, oh, well, I'm getting rid of debt, I'm closing cards out. Well, once you close it, then maybe 6 months later, you decide that you want to use that card again. You have to go back through a credit application process. So it becomes like a new card, and then you have to start out, your history starts over. So actually, if you want to never close a credit card, just pay it down to 0. And every now and then charge $20, $30, $40 on there.
See, man, this is the type of information that our community needs to know. This is empowerment right here. You know, this is putting you in the driver's seat to the vehicle of home ownership, right, guys? That's awesome, awesome. Thank you, guys.
You're welcome.
And I was just gonna say, why do you think they're not teaching you this? Because they want that interest.
Right.
They want to sell you fish. They don't want to teach you how to fish, because then you can teach your family.
Right.
Okay, but go ahead, Tracy, I'll let you finish.
Okay, so the next topic we were going to discuss is sometimes you are bound for cash. You know, even though we have grants that'll help pay your down payment, I am great at getting your closing costs paid, 99% good. However, there may be sometimes that just won't happen. So sometimes you may have to go to a family member or ask someone, say, hey, can you give me a gift or something like that. So, but we need to know about that. And Ms. Newman, if you can touch on the the basis of that gift process.
On gifting, with anything when you're doing the home buying process, it's all about the paper trail. So how can we verify anything that you say that you're doing? If you say you're making $24 an hour, I have to have a pay stub that says you're making $24 an hour. I have to have a verification of employment from your employer to say that you're making $24 an hour. So it's a paper trail. Same thing with gift funds. It's okay if grandmama say, okay, baby, I'm so proud of you. I want to go ahead and give you $1,500, $5,000 to go ahead and buy your first home.
Right.
But it's a process in order to go ahead and show that. So as long as you communicate up front, then I can advise you exactly how to show that. A lot of times it's about if grandmama says that she's going to give it to you, I need grandmama's bank account, bank statement. I need a signed gift letter. Sometimes the gift won't even have to come from an outside family member. Sometimes it's your own spouse, because perhaps they're a non-purchasing spouse on the loan and they have a separate account from you. And so we do the same thing. It's all about documentation. Another thing, a misconception is a lot of people feel like that maybe they're 401k funds to be able to go ahead and buy a house.
I've heard that.
Right now, we are in tax season. So a lot of people should be, if you're strapped for cash and you want to go and you're getting back that $8,000 to $10,000, that's the perfect thing to use to go ahead and buy your home. So documentation on that as well. So your tax return from your tax preparer, and also a copy of the check or advance that they're going to give you. So it's all about just documentation.
Right, and to just touch bases on that taxes, the tax issue. A lot of times people are doing Mary Kay or doing something on the side, and then you take on even paparazzi. I have it on now. Yeah, so people have that. However, then you want to claim all of that as income, and then you're charging it against your income, really, especially if you have a job. And so now your buying power, if you made $30,000 and you're claiming all of this, what you call it, deductions. When you're claiming all of these deductions, now your income is 12.
That's it.
So now you're trying to come and get a house, and you claimed all of these deductions. So now you cannot qualify for a home at a $12,000 income. So you have to be careful on what you're filing, and it has to be that consistency for 2 years. So you couldn't have filed that last year on your taxes and had a $12,000 income and then try it this year unless you've made a significant amount of income more and you don't take those deductions. So we just have to be careful on that to make sure your buying power is strong.
And ask questions with whoever's doing your taxes. Ask the questions. Don't just hand over your taxes or your W-2, because at the end of the day, we all want that bigger return, but you're the only one that knows what you're trying to achieve. So if you're going into it knowing that you need to buy a house, have a conversation with your tax preparer.
We'll be right back after these messages.
Hi, I'm Bridget with Bridget Gilder Insurance Agency, where my staff and I are well equipped to assist you with all of your insurance needs. We offer a wide variety of products, including homeowners, renters, auto, flood, windstorm, business insurance, bonds, and more. Please give us a call. We're happy to do a free analysis of your insurance needs and help you save money.
Hey, how's everybody doing? I'm Gregory Clark with Legendary Inspection Group. We're just a local home inspection company here in servicing Southeast Texas. So whenever you're ready, after you work with your lender and you guys work with your agent and you find a beautiful house and you're ready for me to go ahead and inspect it, just feel free to give us a call. We'll definitely come out as soon as possible and give you everything that you need as far regarding your home inspection. Thank you very much.
The Dream Team. The Home Ownership Dream Team. Tracy Conyers, Gregory Clark, Chantel Newman, Bridget Gilder, Raymond and Stacy Lewis. The Home Ownership Dream Team.
Welcome back. Thank you for tuning in with us on this lovely Saturday morning. So we were talking about the mortgage applicant process. And so now we're going to talk about the inquiries that people have on their credit report. I know the holidays just happened, Good Friday, and a lot of times when you go into the stores, they want you to get 20% off and 25% off or 30% if you apply for this credit card and different things like that. So those hits though on your credit, it may sound fun at the time, but 30%, is it really worth it? You know, to get your credit score to drop maybe 20 points, things like that. So Ms. Lewis, she can vouch for that for us today.
Absolutely. I just want to let everyone know, a lot of times when you go and try to buy a car, credit card, when you go try to buy a car, they drop your information in about 15 or 16 places. Therefore, when they drop your information in like 15, 16 different places to try to get you approved, each one of those inquiries go on your credit report, and they can actually drop your credit score at least 5 to 10 points on each one of those inquiries. So you want to be very, very careful not to inquire about a lot of things. I tell a lot of clients, if you know you're going to purchase a car, go try to get your you a pre-approval.
Okay.
From a bank or a credit union or someone like that. Don't go to the dealership because a lot of times, you know, it'll sink your credit score. And then not only that, when you get those credit inquiries on your credit report, that's what we're here for, Credit One Solutions. We can actually help you get those inquiries removed off of your credit report. Because a lot of times those inquiries stay on your credit report for at least 2 years.
Yes.
Before they'll actually fall off. But we can actually dispute those inquiries and get those inquiries off your credit report.
Right. And, you know, like I said, you know, budgeting for, because, you know, the services are not free, but they're not expensive either. You know, it's a very good cost for your budget, you know, and, you know, it just depends on what program you need, but it's not like an excessive charge for you to be afraid to approach it. So just knowledge is power, just asking the questions and connecting to one of us, because if you're calling, if you happen to call Greg about credit, he has Stacy's number. He can connect, make that connect. So anybody that you call, we can connect you to the right person.
Right.
So the next topic that we're wanting to talk about is about these large deposits. You know, right now money laundering is heavy. You know, a lot of things are going on. So with you depositing cash all the time, that's not good, because everything has to be sourced. So you can't have a job and then you went out and you painted somebody's house and they gave you $500 or $1,000 and you just go and deposit that cash. So they're going to want to know where it's coming from, especially if you're going to want to use that for your earnest money, your option money, which you get credited for, different things like that, your closing costs. So you can't make those large deposits, and Ms. Newman can touch for that.
As a lender, once again, we have to source everything and we have to see that paper trail. So I always keep on going back to where we live at. We live in Southeast Texas. We're hurricane prone. So a lot of times, if anything happens and we have to hightail it out of here and we hurry up and go to the ATM, what's the max we can get out of an ATM? Only $500. That's it. So as a community, we have been prone to, from our grandparents and great-grandparents, to put that money in the mattress. So literally, I have some clients, they literally have it in the mattress, but you know, we keep it at home for those emergencies. And a lot of times, you know, clients will say, okay, look, I have X amount of money, and they may have $5,000 at home. And they feel like, okay, let me just go ahead and put it in the bank. But we can't do that, because it has to be sourced, or it has to be seasoned, and meaning that it has to be in the bank. If you decide, it's all about preparation. If you decide that you're going to buy a house and you know you have $5,000 at home and you may be 60, 90 days, 6 months out, go ahead and put it in the bank, because it has to season for 60 days in order for us to be able to use that money.
Correct. 60 days. So the other thing that we wanted to talk about is co-signing. A lot of times people will go ahead and co-sign for someone for a vehicle or things like that. So if you need to make sure that whoever you co-sign for, they're making those payments, and they're making those payments on time, because of course that will affect your credit. So we want to make sure that you are aware of that, because a lot of people do, family, your mother, your dad, have helped the children with different things, and sometimes the children, they'll either pay it on time, and then sometimes they may lax on that. But you need to make sure that you're staying up on that to make sure that your credit stays in the position that it needs to be in.
And just a caveat on that, because I actually had a true life client this past week, and they signed for their daughter to go off to college, and she went ahead and got an apartment. And for whatever reason, she didn't pay for the apartment. And now they're purchasing a house, so there's a mark against their credit, looking like that they skipped out on the lease for an apartment complex. So we definitely, you know, want to be mindful of I know we want to help our children, you know, as much as we can, but we want to be mindful about that.
Okay. Yes, so make sure you check your emails daily when we're going through this process, so we can continue to make sure that we reach that dream. Thank you, and we'll be back after these messages.
Stacy Lewis, Raymond Lewis, we're with Credit One Solutions, 409-466-3020, 409-273-1306. Website is www.creditonesolutions.com with a Z.
Credit One Solutions. We are that one. Thank you.
Trust the process. If you actually trust the process as far as getting into the company and having your credit repaired, if you just trust the process along with utilizing all of the other benefits that we have in the company, which we actually offer a budgeting tool, which if you don't know how to budget your money, when you get paid, you can actually put all of your debt into that budget calculator and it'll actually budget your money for you and let you know if you're actually spending too much money in certain areas. You actually have a debt payoff calculator, which means that you can actually put all of your debt in that calculator and it will actually calculate your debt for you. And there are a lot of other features that actually go along with United Credit Services, along with Credit One Solutions. But if you want more information, you can get in contact with me, Stacey Lewis, or my husband, Raymond Lewis. My number is 409-466-3020, and his phone number is 409-273-1306. Or you can contact us through website at www.creditonesolutions.com, and that is solutions with a Z. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Bridget with the Bridget Gilder Insurance Agency, where my staff and I are well equipped to meet all of your insurance needs, from home, renters, flood, windstorm, auto insurance, commercial insurance, and more. We stand ready to help you get the best rates affordable in the area. Please give us a call for all of your insurance needs.
Hi, my name is Tracy Conyers, Realtor with Keller Williams. I am your community resource realtor. We have down payment assistance that will help you through this process to save you money, and that's what we're looking forward to. Again, give me a call at any time.
The Dream Team. The Home Ownership Dream Team. Tracy Conyers. Gregory Clark. Chantel Newman. Bridget Gilder. Raymond and Stacey Lewis. The Home Ownership Dream Team.